three things is very important and crucial to understand that every skilled worker must understand, right? One, sensation, perception, and perspective that I have been discussing from last almost 2 3 weeks. So I have come with a model to explain it, and this really works, right? So this is some kind of 3D lamp one of my patients gifted to me, but then I don't know why but then it works. So imagine this is a kind of a model of human brain, right? Let me, yeah, you're seeing it. Wait, yeah, kind of human brain. So this is locked in a cage of skull bone. But beauty of this brain is it works on its own without your awareness. Two, it has locked a seed like divine energy or consciousness. And Western people says it like some form of energy that is dreaming. That's why all the tomb of this pyramid, pyramid, and all the Egyptians are depicted in a tomb, right? And what is the divine energy doing in this prison of skull? It's dreaming. Dreaming about what? Dreaming about you. That one day you will wake him up. Now, this is a dead man's brain because whatever I do, it doesn't lights up. See, the brain doesn't lights up. But then in living people, it lights up. The lights up, right? It lights up. This energy that is locked in the skull cage. See, whenever you do a movement like this, the color changes, right? Similarly, every movement sparks an action potential, a tiny electrical impulses in the brain. If you don't do movement, either of the mind or the body, there is no life. So now coming to the concept that divine energy or consciousness that is locked in the skull is best explained by Abraham Hicks in the concept called source. You are the extension of the source energy. The source energy is higher up somewhere, it's everywhere, it's omnipotent being, something like that. And you are an extension, a contraction of the divine energy, the source, the big source. And this tiny spark that is locked in our skull always yearns to find its source. That's why every man that has come to this world search for meaning, and a connection. Now, every day, this energy that is this energy that moves, right? During the daytime, it lights up, and during the night time, it sleeps. in the cerebrospinal fluid wash the brain in the while we are asleep, and in the morning we again wakes up with a fresh energy. So now that consciousness that is locked in the skull cage, yeah, awareness that is locked, that brain that is cage in the skull always yearns to communicate with its source or the environment, and that is that it does through five senses and the receptors on the skin. The receptor root word is Italian recipiere, meaning receiving. It's a receiver of the messages, either from the environment or from the within the body. The messages is sent to the brain, to the brain, up into the brain, and this is called only message is called sensation. And when the brain identifies the object, it is called perception, theoretically. Okay, when the signal, the messages from the body or the environment goes to the brain, goes to the brain, it is sensation, only sensation. When the brain identifies the object and gives a response, that is perception, theoretically. But there is a fallacy. Okay, if I say imagine an orange, you close your eyes and imagine an orange, you can feel the taste and smell it. Obviously your mind can perceive the real image in your mind. So the mind or the brain can perceive image through the receptor or using the sixth sense, that is also a mind, and perceive the world around imaginatively, that is perception. And the perspective is when the environment is changed, the the spark, the spark that is locked in our skull senses it, but then it's not real, right? That is called perception. That's why everybody in the current age, from the first generation warfare to the fifth generation warfare, was changing how people perceive. There was an in the fifth generation of warfare, they literally succeeded in changing our perception. And why this is called war of good versus evil? Because the goodness of the source is locked in our skull, and we people are changing its perception. That's why it's evil. I thought like this. So this energy that is isolated in this part only, because there is no connection. There is no connection, right? The brain, the switch. Although it is a port, the port is like yoga, because this divine spark that is keep locked in our skull always yearns to union with the source, and that's why yoga always promotes movement, and the meditation always promotes stillness. Both works Well, I think, well, I just want to one caution, warning. Look, I am not a meditator. I am not spiritualist. I am a surgeon. We are all surgeons, and this trying solving the patient's problem, I need to study all these things, and these are all theoretical information, and it really works. Okay, so the divine spark that is locked in our skull that always yearns to connect with the source, and the creator has built no switch externally. There is no switch externally. That's why you have to find your own switch, because once you are able to do it, your performance will improve exponentially. And whenever you ask somebody, some students, what did you learn today? They will say that I have learned a lesson on some topic. But then the biggest and the best leverage and that gives maximum output is studying your own mind. See, all these spiritual gurus, they sit on one place, but then their knowledge only remains. While all the kings and all the warlords just disappear from the world. But then these meek and humble people knowledge endures time. That's why in skill learning process, rather than acquiring skill from outside, if you study your own drawbacks and fantasies and your own body, your own mind, and your background, your everything, right? Your output of the your result output will change exponentially. Okay. To wrap up, the brain. This is very like crude brain model. Every messages this goes from the receptor to the brain is signaling up, signaling, and every messages this goes from the brain to the body is like perception. Okay, object recognition and object identification, sensory message decoding, like so, and all the messages that goes from the body to the brain instantaneously in milliseconds. The two signals goes like this. Whoop, whoop. Okay, input, instantly another comes in. So before you are aware of the movement, and beyond the awareness comes into picture, the body already executes the action. So there's no question of understanding reactions and all the thing. All you can do is optimize and understand your own brain, mind. Okay, brain and mind. Coming to this sensation is gone. Sensation, we described it. I described it. Perception, I described it. Perspective, I will described it. Now feeling. Feeling is like the divine spark in us. Okay, that is like we imaginatively, hypothetically say like it is eternally sleeping in our head in the calvarium. Okay, when it invests its energy in that object or sensory stimulus, then it feels it. Okay, that is feeling. Okay, or you can say the feeling of the heart. Feeling by the heart is called feeling. Whatever you like, but I think this one goes best with our explanation. Okay, thank you. This was more detailed explanation of sensation, perception, perspective, and feeling. And Abraham Hicks, you can study about this source in this source contraction of source. We are like contraction of the source, right? And he says when the contraction, this V is in unit of the extent unit of the source, right? When it aligns its frequency and vibration to the source, then only we achieve happiness. And he used a word specifically vortex. And once you align, you use changes your mental state into a vortex, and in that state only an individual feels one of the most happy moment of their life. It's like full brain activation. Okay, now this vortex and alignment the source is different from the flow of me hai chicks in me hai. Okay, the flow word it is different, but skill wise this works best with our topic. Thank you. Next time we will discuss more about interesting topics. Thank you so much for your attention and see you next Sunday.